April 11th is the latest that we remember starting field work. And that's the day we started this year as well. But anything that didn't have some primary tillage last fall, we've tried to do some primary tillage, and it's way too muddy still.
2011 started out wet, but as the season progressed, the weather became the farmer's friend, resulting in a plentiful harvest across the state. Commodity prices in 2011 were also good for Idaho farmers, and as harvest wrapped up, most producers were happy.
And this year we've been pleasantly surprised, so.
Good year.
Yeah.
The Idaho Farm Bureau hosted Mexican millers in early September and sealed a deal with Idaho wheat to Mexico, finding new markets and creating bonds that will help farmers for decades. These are just a few of the Farm Bureau victories. Nine county farm bureaus hosted Farm Bureau marketing seminars. Many of the county farm bureaus gave away agricultural products at local events, everything from milk and potatoes in Bannock to pigs in Bonners Ferry. 13 county farm bureaus remodeled their buildings. 20 farm bureaus held educational farm tours. 34 farm bureaus achieved membership quotas in 2011. 29 county farm bureaus awarded scholarships to students for their continuing education. 33 county farm bureaus took part in legislative action programs. 22 counties participated in Meet the Candidate events and sponsored legislative report-back meetings.
Now you're supposed to take this hand and get it up here so you can milk two at once. And you go one and then the other.
This one's Farm Bureau.
I'll have to try some.
Why can't you do two at the same time?
One and then the other. You go one like this.
Meet Matt, IFBF's new mobile ag classroom, developed under the direction of Vice President Mark Troop and a committee made up of Kimmel Daly, James Williams, Alicia Krantz, and Rhonda Blair. Mobile Classroom comes complete with curriculum and full funding from the IFBF State Board. In 2011, the board adopted priority issues, including state budget and tax exemptions, support of animal agriculture, the right to farm, false complaints against producers, and the wolf issue. The State Board established a County Farm Bureau litigation fund to aid county farm bureaus involved in third-party lawsuits. President Priestley held special dinner meetings with county presidents in all 5 districts. The IFBF Board of Directors nominated President Frank Priestley to serve on the Board of Directors of the Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company. And at the direction of the State Board, a message of appreciation was sent to Congressman Mike Simpson for efforts in wolf delisting and reduction of the EPA budget. And on Veterans Day, the Farm Bureau Insurance Company hosted the inaugural Flag Day event at the home office in Pocatello. The event is to honor local veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice while protecting America. The board adopted a 2011 budget projecting more than $4 million in revenue. State Board adopted procedures for implementing House of Delegate policies and authorized smartphone apps for easy access to IFBF websites and news. And Gooding Farm Bureau and Lincoln County Farm Bureaus were merged and conducted County Farm Bureau training for presidents and treasurers on county finances. And they awarded 8 academic scholarships of $750 each to college-bound members. Ten IFBF members were appointed to the American Farm Bureau Advisory Committees. A General Business Advisory Committee was created to review tax, labor, and insurance issues, and the Potato Committee sought inclusion to grower meetings and requested the United Potato Growers of Idaho for producer updates. Raised over $2,600 for Women's Scholarship Fund. Awarded a $750 scholarship to high school seniors as part of the overall scholarship program. Awarded mini grants to Custer and Oneida counties for new school projects. Made a $1,500 cash donation along with groceries and dinner to Idaho's Ronald McDonald House on Food Checkout Day. And sponsored the annual speech contest with contestants from all 5 districts. Progressive Agriculture Safety Days were held in 7 counties along with other safety fair school presentations. Sponsored the National Institute for Farm Safety National Safety Meeting in Boise this past June. Sponsored an annual health fair during convention and distributed newsletters at state meetings and to county contracts. All 5 YF&R committees held summer leadership activities, increasing overall attendance. State YF&R Leadership Conference was held in Idaho Falls with a record 200+ attending. Negotiated with Polaris to donate a new Polaris Ranger to the state achievement winner. The Governmental Affairs team facilitated meetings between potato growers and the Department of Agriculture over the potato cyst and nematode program. Played a role in legislative victories, ultimately improving Idaho's right to farm law. Sponsored the annual Legislative Leadership Conference that was attended by 50 lawmakers, 26 guests, and 96 IFBF members. Headed an ad hoc committee of agricultural interests to work with Congressman Mike Simpson on efforts reining in the EPA. In 2011, livestock specialist Wally Butler expanded range consulting work for ranchers that included 40 grazing allotments covering more than 300,000 acres. And Governmental Affairs tracked 54 pieces of legislation this year, resulting in 85% of all bills passed in accordance with IFBF policies. Hosted 3 Mexican wheat milling companies, and as a result, contracted 125 carloads of Idaho wheat for 2012. Attended meetings with the Idaho Potato, Barley, and Wheat Commissions. Also attended grain, hay, beet, and dairy producer meetings. Hosted representatives from Mountain States Oilseeds to Mexico and visited prospective buyers. Mountain States now ships products to Mexico. Hosted 18 Commodity Advisory Committee meetings during 2011. Continue the relationship with local television, radio, newspapers, and national media. Continue the Idaho Farm Bureau News blog with more than 300 news stories, 100 new videos on YouTube, not to mention more than 2,000 followers on Facebook. Continued emphasis on state and local coverage of agriculture news in magazines The Producer and Quarterly. Completed 22 video profiles, including outstanding YF&R members, Woman of the Year, President's Cup, YF&R Leadership, and the Governor's Award at the Ag Summit. Added an additional Flickr site, added another app, and added a Twitter account. Published 12 magazines, generating 62 ag feature stories. Members continued to flock to the discount program with Lagoon. In 2010, our county offices sold more than $103,000 in tickets. In 2011, that number soared to over $160,000. A new member benefit was launched with General Motors in September. Ski ticket sales have doubled. Last year, sales were just $8,000. This year, sales hit the $14,000 mark. The partnership with SeaWorld in San Diego was reworked and nearly tripled from $6 to $7 to $20. And a new benefit was negotiated with Syringa Wireless. That's a short list of the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation's accomplishments in 2011. Idaho Farm Bureau, turning obstacles into victories.